Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome back to Lana's Little Things with me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist. Just embracing all things in living agelessly, family caregiving, bridging generational gaps, entrepreneurship, life itself. Hope everyone is well. What temperature is it where you are? Is full summer. Oh, it's full summer. So it is warm. But fortunately, I am the one who I kind of tend to be cool on the cool side. So if you're the type that summer doesn't affect you as much as everybody else, sing rejoices. If you're sweating, just drink some water. That's my solution to everything. Drink water. So today, what are we going to talk about? Just, I think it's kind of like the circling question. Everyone has been asked, talking about it without saying anything, thinking it without wanting to ask. Even with doctors and nurses and those in the health profession, often don't want to ask because you're afraid that if you say it, it will become it. So the question is, what is your caregiving dynamic? Your caregiving dynamic. What do I mean by that? So I researched about 5 or 6 articles because I thought the dynamics of the relationship, whether it's a spousal relationship, a parent to child, grandparent, family member, friend, we're dealing with those close ones. The official paid capacities, that's a different thing. But when family and spousal dynamics change in caregiving, that sets up a course of what is it sets up a difficult dynamic. Meaning, is there a power struggle or have you gotten used to or are you trying to get used to well, there was a post that I had done which talked about are you parenting your parent? That's slightly different. This one is what is the relationship? So it's no longer not about taking charge so much as it is adjusting to a changed dynamic, whatever that be. So let's talk about that and how you can manage. So it has been said that Alzheimer's disease, dementia, any kind of situation which places the relationship you would have had with your loved one in a different, it's a role reversal or it's just a complete role change. So you were the spouse and you were going along with your plans and suddenly boom, something happens. And we're seeing it a lot in major, I would say Hollywood, but there are a lot of other more brought out or more popularized situations now. Thankfully, people are really finding that to talk about it and to talk about the challenges is a whole lot better than hiding. And the shame of feeling as though the shame of having someone who's in your family who's dependent. There's no shame in illness if it happens, and there's no shame in aging and the changes that come with aging. But the role reversals can feel sometimes, honestly, as if you're responsible for the change, or somehow you can help with the change. And if you can't make the change, then you're failing somehow. Does that ever feel like that? That you're failing in your caregiving? Or because you didn't expect it, the guilt of what you have to do now is more than you can manage, and you really didn't expect this, and this was not the plan. Let's be real. This is not the plan. So, in addition to testing the relationship, when no filters are there, all the skeletons in the closet come out. What you had simmering, maybe an unresolved issue that you can't deal with now, because who are you going to talk about it to? The person is not able to talk to you. If it's a parent, you now have to put your feelings aside, your background, the dynamic that was not the best. Maybe the relationship was not the best. But the guilt of approaching them with that unresolved issue is now can't say that no, because then that's going to create how dare you kind of dynamic, kind of attitude, and then you're going to feel like you never say anything, which leads eventually to lack of closure, which sets up another cycle where you're going to live in the guilt or regret or anger for a long, long time. Don't want to do that. The relationships are beautiful, and even if it might not be the ideal, there's some ways we can, make it a little easier, a little less hard, a little less challenging, and even find some joy. Who knows? So, what was first of all, what was the relationship dynamic with and your spouse, or with you and your parent or grandparent before? How did you bridge your gaps before? That should be analyzed first, because that's kind of like the base on which you're gonna put this new relationship on, whether you like it or not. Because even if you have family meetings and you're the person who's in the prime spot, it's still going to be facing you every single day, because the person you're taking care of is facing you every single day. It's right in your face. You can't avoid it. So analyze, maybe write down, maybe journal, maybe if you pray about it, meditate on it, think about it, make little notes so you can see, you know what, relationship was like this before, and it's like this. Make a list of what you perceive to be a loss, and how you and how it makes you feel. We're not doing solutions right now. We just want to analyze what you feel was lost and how that makes you feel. So if it was a child to a parent, you never felt that you were cared for by that parent or guardian. If it's a spouse, you never felt that the relationship was what it should be. And now here you are in a role reversal, having to take care of someone that you haven't put closure to. Imagine that. That's not an easy thing to feel inside. So, writing it down, making a note of what the relationship was, can help you process your feelings going forward. It's not going to change now. It may, as you're more mindful of it, but it's not my aim, and it really shouldn't be the aim to change it or to fix it or to cure it or to lay down and, um, talk it out and it'll all be fine. That may never happen. But what you can do is find ways around it, find ways in which it can be pleasant and not unpleasant. And as I said, even a joy. So analyze the relationship dynamics, how you feel about it, how the illnesses affect their illnesses affected your social life, your your plans for the future, your finances, oh boy, your time to sleep, your whole rest, your mental state, your physical health. Do you have new physical ailments now that you did not have before you went into caregiving? And now, because the relationship was not really what it was, you feel stuck. There's no one you can ask, there's no one you want to ask. You feel pulled back and asking but you still feel stuck because you want to change, you want to move, you want to, as some have said, I just want to get out, but you can't, but you feel as if you can't. That's a tough pill to swallow, figuratively, literally too. So analyzing that part, and then going into now third line, where you can say, well, all right, third thing is not what the solution is. The third line, third column, if you will, would be what, where is my attitude, or where in there can I see myself as a caregiver? Maybe what are my best days and what are my not so good days, and how you show up in those days. Why? Because not only analyzing your relationship, analyzing how you feel, but analyzing what you do in your best will give you confidence to do it again. And your body said, oh, we can do this. Analyzing how you feel when it didn't go so great and an argument went helter skelter here. Why? You know how? For no reason at all. True? You can say, what do I need to learn from this one? What did this teach me about myself that I needed to maybe analyze and I can do better? So either way, you get the confidence to continue, or you get the feedback and the, shall we say, the knowledge, the insight to do better. When you know better, you do better. So what about that's the third one. The fourth one would now be what do you want to do in the first? What do you want to do? How can you do it? So let's discuss three steps you can do. You've probably heard these over and over again. Take time for yourself, share your emotions with a trusted friend or someone who's been in this situation before and you trust can kind of give you some guidance and prayer. You're looking for the highest source possible. Sometimes you just don't want you don't necessarily need to know what's happening, but you maybe just want wisdom going forward. So those three. Prayer, self-care, seek advice. With prayer, that is between you and your supreme being. What you can do, as I said, is ask for wisdom. How do I deal with this? When I look at this column, these lists, where in here am I being taught or am I being reflected to see, well, what's my attitude? What can I do? What can I change? What can I adjust? How can I do better? How can I show more gratitude? Just give me the wisdom to show more gratitude. Give me the wisdom to look in this situation and be a better person. It's often been said that a challenge doesn't reveal, crisis doesn't make a character, it reveals it. So let the crisis, the change dynamic reveal some things that you want to do better, and you will do better. Talking with a trusted friend who's probably been in that situation before, give you practical tools on how you can deal with the days that are not so great. Deal with the change in dynamic. How do I think of mom, dad, spouse? How do I see them now? Because pity, guilt, anger, resentment are the most common. Not so cooperation, collaboration, and compassion. Those might be there, but not in as many spades. You know what I'm saying? So, asking for those three cooperation, collaboration, compassion. Seeing where in there it can be done from both sides, mind you. Because the person might not be that far off that you can't express to them, well, mom, dad, when you said that, it hurt my feelings. Depending on the toxicity, if there is toxicity in the relationship, that might actually backfire. So just be careful and cautious, hence why advice. Seeking advice with someone who's there before is helpful. But that negative aside, it can still be helpful to let them know how you feel. And then if that's not working out as you want, arrange with someone for time out for self care. I always say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just get out the house and walk and get some fresh air, or go in another room and lock the door, or just go take a warm shower, cold shower, just to get away, or just do a puzzle, do a game, something that brings you some kind of fulfillment in this new navigation. And then compassion. You're in this journey because likely you probably were thrown into it, you feel, but you're in it because by nature you're compassionate. So don't deny that part of yourself. In fact, enhance that part of yourself and see where your compassion actually benefits you, where your compassion gives you the confidence to become the person that you want to be. Compassion is not a weakness, it is actually a strength because when you can bring your strength to the table, that is the ultimate kindness, isn't it? Reminding someone, lending someone your power instead of reminding them of their weakness. So, hope this was helpful in your change dynamic of the relationship in caregiving. Consider the baseline, consider how you feel about it, consider what it can what it has there to teach us all in our various levels of caregiving, and bring collaboration, compassion, and self care. From my heart to yours, this caregiving journey ain't easy. It is not. It is not for the faint hearted. But courage is something that you develop. Fear will always be there. How we develop courage, how we sift through and work through the courage, that is the ultimate. So, good morning, good evening, good night. If you have any questions, queries, or comments, feel free to subscribe, tell a friend about the channel, and if it's helped you in any way, if you have suggestions on what your struggle is and how you brought your what the challenge showed up for you as, and how someone helped you, feel free to share. Boy, high tide floats all boats. So feel free to share. I'd love to hear your comments. And I'm here anytime you want to have a free 15-minute Zoom on how you can deal with some things better. We're all on this journey together. Here to help. From my heart to yours, Dr. Lana, signing out. Mwah. Until next week, saying it ain't easy, but somebody got to do it. And it so happened to be you. And you can do it. Bye bye.